Welcome back, everybody. Here we are again at Suzenski Fit. Today I want to focus on joint mobility. And there are two factors affecting joint mobility. We have an extension and we have a flexion. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to hyperextend our joint, and we also don't want to overflex our joint. And it's extremely crucial to focus on this while weightlifting so we can completely isolate the muscles that we're working on. And what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to start at the bottom first. So we'll work with my ankles all the way up to the top of my head. So if you look at my feet, and you're going to notice my ankle joint right here, as I pull my toes towards my shin, what I have here is a flex or a flexion. Now, it is possible if I pull too hard to have an overflexion, which could cause injury. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my toes away from my shin, and this is what we would refer to as an extension. And again, if I were to add a little too much force on here, I would hyperextend, okay? So again, we have flexion, toes come towards the shin, and away we have extension. We focus on the ankles. Now we want to go to the knees. My knees are actually already in an extended state, okay? But if I were to force that forwards, put a little bit more torque on my knee, we would have a hyperextension of the knee. Now, as I draw my heel in towards my butt, we have a flexion. And if it comes too far, we have an overflexion. Okay, so it's really important to note that our joints are able to flex and extend, but we don't want to hyperextend or overflex because that's going to cause injury. The next joint is very important, and that would be in the pelvis area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you by doing a mad cat how we extend and how we flex our pelvis. So right now, if you take a look at my back, it's known as a flat back. So what we have here is we have an extension, okay? And you'll see that. In a mad cat position, when I extend my back, my head rises. Now, watch slowly. I'm going to flex. I'm going to flex my pelvis and my vertebrae. So this is what we have, or we refer to as a flexion. I'm flexing my pelvis and vertebrae. Again, my head will drop in the flexed state. Again, I'm going to go down. We have an extension of my back and my pelvis area, and then we have a flexion. Okay, this is extremely important because what happens in powerlifting, we tend to thrust our hips forward too far, and we get a hyperextension of the pelvis area, resulting in a back injury, okay? So again, one more time, very crucial. Extension of the lower back and flexion of the lower back. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right into my neck, okay? Now, if you tilt your head forward and bring your chin to your chest, what we have here is we have a flexion. And again, if I bring my head back and tilt it back, we have an extension. All right, so again, flexion when I bring my chin down to my chest, and flexion when I bring my head up, or the back of my head to my back, okay? And again, you can hyperextend your neck or overflex your neck as well. Now, I'm gonna show you how I would use this with one simple weightlifting exercise, a hammer curl, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get on my knees, and you're gonna notice I want a solid base again from my knee to my feet. That's gonna give me that solid base. And what I wanna do, first of all, is I wanna make sure that my lower back is in that extended position. Not hyperextended. I don't wanna throw my hips forward because I'm gonna cause injury. Okay, so I stabilize my upper body with that extended lower back. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my barbell my barbell curl, all right? And you're gonna notice, watch this, I'm gonna really isolate my biceps on this movement. So I tuck my elbows in. Now the only thing that's gonna move are my forearms. My forearms are going to flex, controlled by my biceps. I don't wanna lean too far forward because I'll lose that extension in my lower back, okay? And I'll get a flexion. So I roll my shoulder blades back, I keep my head up, and then I very slowly, again, my hinge point here, or my focal point is in my elbows. I come up real slow, squeeze, 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 all the way to the top. I get a really nice contraction. Now, what happens typically is at the top, people will do this with the wrist. They'll actually flex their wrists in to bring that bar in closer. We don't want to do that. I want to keep my wrists in a prone or neutral position. So I come all the way up and squeeze, and I bring it down in a controlled manner, all the way down before complete arm extension. Again, flexed, I come up nice and slow, all the way up, I focus on my breathing, squeeze to the top, contract, the most flexed state of my arms, then I bring it down nice and slow before complete extension. So I maintain that bicep contraction. All right? So there you go. Flexion and extension. Enjoy your workout. Suzenski Fit.